Welcome to Tapped In. My name is David Figueroa-Martinez of DFM Coaching. And today we're going to be discussing the real win as a coach. This is going to be a little sometimes abstract and sometimes it's going to take me down memory lane. So my biggest win isn't whether I ever get anyone to black belt. My biggest, don't get me wrong, I want to get some people there. My biggest win is and will always be if I can cultivate quality people. And what I'm really enjoying is creating culture that mirrors my own approach and that allows other people who maybe are new to jiu-jitsu or are having a hard time with jiu-jitsu or have come from environments that maybe were not conducive to learning jiu-jitsu, that when they're in that culture that I'm in or that I help build or that I help influence, that they feel different about themselves and they feel different about their experiences, their existence, their likelihood to continue jiu-jitsu, their likelihood to recommend jiu-jitsu to other people. And that right now is my focal point and my passion and almost life's work. Yes, technique is great. It's important. I study. I'm developing aspects of my game that I didn't get to develop before I became a black belt. So I'm constantly learning and I'm constantly pushing forward. But really the fun part about being a black belt and a black belt instructor specifically is that you get to influence the culture more than at any other stage. When you are a purple belt, brown belt even, you can only do so much. The head instructor or the person that's in charge of that program or the person who runs the gym, owns the gym, often has more sway than you do. And you might be in a specific gym that isn't the greatest when it comes to environment, and you could only do so much. Yes, you can create that in that 1 hour, 1.5 hour block, but it doesn't carry as much. When you get to a spot or a position, or maybe you're in charge of a class or a set of classes, or you're in charge of a gym, maybe you don't own, but you run it for the owner, or you partake in so many classes that it's almost like you're running it, or I run the morning program at Gracie La Mesa with the help of 2 other instructors. But I have 3 of the 5 classes and we do the promotions and so it feels like I'm the one running it. I do workshops at other spots and it feels like this whole year has been about building community and building more positive environments with people of varying skill levels and skill sets and backgrounds and approaches feel like they're seen and that they're getting time in, and that, like, for example, I was talking to a blue belt at Five Peaks, and one of the things that he said was, the thing that I love about training here, because I asked him, have you been training here the whole time? And he said, yes. The thing that I love about training here is that all of you included, take your time with everyone. You don't have favorites necessarily. You don't have like an inner circle. You guys really do go out of your way to just assist everyone that's on the mats. You give your feedback, you give pointers. It never feels like someone's on the outside. And it may be his perspective specifically, but that's what I'm going for. And those are the types of people that I want to continue to work with, both currently and as I expand and start doing privates and workshops and seminars at other gyms. I want to continue to work with the people who are like-minded like me, who want to do more of that. Today we had promotions at Gracie La Mesa. Today is December 13th. Don't know when I'm going to put this out. And I got to meet up with one of my favorite people on the mats, Marco. He's sometimes referred to as OG Marco or front desk Marco, because we had a German Marco at one point who's now American Marco. That's a whole nother story. I have known Marco since he was a white belt when he joined. His daughter did jiu-jitsu before he did. And I have a picture. I think he's a white belt and I'm a purple belt. So we've known each other quite a long time. I am now, I think June I'll hit 5 years as a black belt. So I'm 4 years in now. He got his not too long ago, maybe a year or two. So we've been around. And Marco to me was someone that I instantly liked. I don't know why. And we trained together. I mentored him in a lot of different ways. I did not award any of his belts to him because we had an instructor and a gym owner who did that. But he was one of those people that I genuinely liked and took a liking to in his development. And a lot of our games are similar. And he loves Kimuras. He does Kimuras from places that I have never even considered doing Kimuras. And he's taken that game and developed it into his own liking, which I'm super happy about. He ended up being the front desk at our old gym for a while. Perfect for the job. He had this ability of learning everyone's name. He has this ability of when you come through that door, you feel like you got home. He gives you dap, he slaps that hand, makes you feel like the gym missed you. You could have been there a couple of hours ago and you get the same vibe. And he was perfect at that job. He just had this ability of making people feel seen, welcome, loved, appreciated. I had never seen the role done better. So we have known each other for quite a long time. I remember, and I've told this story before, he was not competing at the time or competing very often. And if I mess up this story, please forgive me. He had not been competing very often. And Jiu-Jitsu World League, I think it's coming by. And I'm like, dude, he would be good. I need him to compete. And I remember coming up to him at one point, hey, are you considered competing? And again, he's probably going to remember this a little different than I do. And he's like, whatever. And I said, would you compete if I paid your entry level or a portion of it? And he's like, let me think about it. And he thought about it and he's like, all right, cool. And I send him the money and he signs up and I end up coaching him. Again, this is, he's 37 now. I'm 44. So we're not like, it's not OG and the little homie, but it's sort of that way because I knew him as a white belt and I was a purple belt at the time. And so I've watched him mature and I've spent time developing him in some ways and pushing him in certain ways. And so it feels like big brother, little brother a little bit. And I remember he went out there and when I coach people, there's that weird thing of like, I don't know what everyone likes. Some people don't want to be talked to. Some people need to be encouraged. Some people need to have their attention diverted with jokes and shit. This dude was a stone cold killer. He didn't want to talk at all. Straight face, in the zone. I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going to say any jokes or fuck with him at all. So I let him do whatever the fuck he did. And he went out there. He did some tough matches, but he performed beautifully. He performed the way that I knew he was going to perform because I had watched him. He lived at the gym, like literally. He had a home, but he worked the front desk. He was there all day. He was there for private lessons. He was teaching classes. He was teaching kids. He was working. Like there was nothing he wasn't doing. So he's soaking up all this shit that I couldn't soak up. And I knew that he was going to do well. He gets gold, has a beautiful memory. I have a beautiful memory of encouraging him and pushing him and seeing, oh, I can compete. I can do this shit that maybe I hadn't thought about or maybe I had some doubts. And again, I'm speaking for him. But it was so rewarding to watch. Fast forward. We had a couple of issues with that gym. I ended up leaving. And he stayed. And then eventually he had some issues with the gym. And he ended up leaving. He ends up coming to the gym that I'm at. He works the front desk. He teaches a bunch of kids classes, teaches a bunch of adults classes, gets his black belt from Hoyler Gracie. And I don't see him as often as I used to because I'm working all the morning classes. He's working all the evening classes and we just don't pass all that often. But I'm going to the promotions this morning and I'm excited. I get to see Marco. Literally excited. Like that was the guy that I wanted to see. There was a couple people I wanted to see too, but that was the guy that I wanted to see because I haven't seen him in so long. We chat over IM and discuss business and, oh, this guy's signing up, that guy's signing up, or this guy's got to put a hold or whatever. And I see him and I'm happy. We do promotions. We're messing around in line and we're being our old selves, just laughing at shit and joking. And but there's a point after promotions where we get to talk, and he's telling me about all the shit that he's doing as a coach and teaching. And we have a second location that he's also teaching at, and he's telling me about that and his teaching philosophy, and he's telling me all this shit. And that's where I got the idea of this episode. I love watching people develop, specifically developing into quality human beings and coaches and instructors. Love it. This is one of those people that I mentored, and we had a genuine friendship. We tell each other we love you. We love each other. We hug. I don't think we've ever had an argument. We've always been on the same page. A little off sometimes, but we all pulling in the same direction. And as he's telling me this, all I can think about is, this is what I want from anyone who comes after me. This is the model that I tried to share and to emulate and to show and to develop for myself. And my prayer as an instructor is always that other people are paying attention and that they're seeing it, and they're seeing that it's possible. They're seeing that it works. And no matter what what any dirt someone else might put on you because they're jealous about things, or they're upset because you're getting attention, or that students are liking the way you teach, and sometimes they're getting in the way of that, and you just keep moving forward, and you keep developing, you keep being the right type of person, you keep thinking about your students, putting them first, and making sure that you're the example that someone might need to keep doing this. And as he's telling me all this shit, all I can think about is how fucking proud I am of this dude. Genuinely how proud I am of this guy. And to see him develop from a white belt when I was purple, and I'll tell you this right now, he murders me on the mat now. Murders me on the mat now. But I'm watching him and have developed into this quality black belt with genuine technique, a giant ass heart, cares about the students, does it his own style, in his own way. He'll poke fun at you, he'll rib you, he'll crack a joke at your expense, but you know it's out of love. He goes out there and makes sure that the people that have signed up for competitions are coached effectively, that no one's out there by themselves. That's what I want to create more of. And there was just this swelling of like genuine pride of like, fuck, I'm so fucking proud that this guy is where he is right now. Because we had a hard coming up when it came to jiu-jitsu. We didn't have the greatest environments sometimes. Sometimes we saw things that we shouldn't have seen, or were treated in ways that we shouldn't have been treated. And it's really easy for people to be like, I'm just going to stop. I'm quit jiu-jitsu, go do some other shit. Or I can be that way because that's the model that I have right now. And either one of us could have easily just become assholes, but neither of us did. We kept doing the things that we loved doing. We kept supporting the students the best way we knew how. We didn't allow those issues to kind of taint who we are and what we wanted to become as students and instructors. And I'm seeing that in my own program now. I'm seeing students. One of the things that I absolutely love watching is when we get a new person in, there is no click. We had someone one time watch from the sidelines, and he said, yeah, I've been coming to a couple of classes evening, and I came to yours. It's 5 a.m. class. And he says, one of the things that I love was that I don't get a click sense. I don't get a feel that there's little circles within the group. Everyone's sort of just melding together, and the coaches are helping everyone. And it's something that I love seeing, because he said when he went to a couple of other spots, he can see the cliquish behavior. And for me, and specifically the morning program, I don't see any of it. I see people who love jiu-jitsu, want to help each other. When we get a brand new student in, the students are helping them. They're giving them feedback. They're helping us. Like, I'll see students, hey, you don't have a gi here. They'll bring a gi in for them. They'll help them with any questions they have. They kind of get them used to the culture. Hey, this is how we do things here. There is no, like, sometimes at certain gyms, when people start rolling, where someone feels like, oh, no one wants to roll with me. I don't see any of that in this program. None of it. And I get this sense of like I'm building or helping build quality human beings that are assisting one another. And I'm seeing some of the instructors that are, or students that are starting to get into that instructor field, and they're carrying that same mantle and that same approach. I could not be happier. Could not be happier. And I know this episode is not like technique based and going to make you better, but I want it to be something that people consider as they come up. You as a student are going to coach people before you even realize you're coaching. You can be a blue belt and you're helping the new guy come in. You can be a purple belt and you're helping the new girl come in. And that's the act of coaching. You may not be teaching them specific technique, but you're helping them develop into quality training partners. You're helping them develop into quality instructors down the line, years that you may not even ever experience with them. But that time that they spend with you is super important. And they get to feel what genuine environment feels like, an environment that cares about your upbringing and that, hey, you're going to be around for a while. Let me help you. Not that whole process of, oh, it's a new white belt. I don't need to pay attention to their name. I don't need to learn anything about them. I'm not going to pay attention to them for 6 months until they prove themselves. There are gyms that are like that. And we have one that doesn't do that at all. We generally try to support each other, even if you're brand new, day one off the street. We want you to stay. We want you to develop. So it's been fun having that conversation with them, and then seeing the darker belts coming up, and I'm having them substitute. I'm watching the way they are interacting with both the brand new students and how they're interacting with their training partners. They're not just training partners anymore. Like I have a purple belt who's, you could call it mentoring, coaching, a blue belt, giving great feedback and spending time and like tinkering with their game and adding, hey, you should do this or you should try this or the angle's a little off. I fucking love watching that because it's really easy to want to hoard all the information so that you look good and you feel good and you win all the rounds. It's a different story when you know this person that you're teaching is already a problem, and many of them are, and you're like, hey, you need to do this a little different. And it's going to interact with your game, and it's going to make your game more difficult to deal with. And you might lose a couple rounds, you might lose for a bit, but then you up your game because they up theirs. There's something beautiful in that. And you don't get to see that very often. We don't see it as often as we'd like in society as a whole. And so when I get to see it here and I get to infuse a little bit of energy or life into that, where now they're embodying the same habits and the same approaches, and there's no ego in it. There's no hoarding information. There's no impatience. Like, I love seeing it. So it's been really fun to watch this year. I'm seeing a bit more of it because I think everyone's maturing. I'm maturing a bit more. I'm far more used to teaching now because I'm teaching at different spots, and I'm seeing this just develop, and it's a huge blessing for me. So I want to thank everyone that comes to my classes, that comes to my workshops, seminars, that interacts with me online or in the school program or whatever it might be. This role that I have is one that I take incredibly serious, and I take a lot of pride in, and I put a lot of time into. So if you ever get a chance to come meet me or train with me, if you've ever supported me in any way, I completely thank you from the bottom of my heart. For those of you that are developing into these own types of instructors that are doing a lot of the things that I've been trying to push and embody and emulate and show for everyone else, thank you so much. There's a huge sense of pride for me in all of you. Thank you so much. For the rest of you, if you have any questions, you can reach me at dfm.2099 on Instagram and Threads. If you want to take part in the free school community, the link is in the bio. or you can do a search, DFM Coaching BJJ. I keep all my workshops there. We have Q&A, technique of the week, and so on. Again, any questions, hit me up. Until next time, thank you so much.